Top ANC officials and government ministers having benefited from Bosasa. ANC Chair and Mineral Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe has been named. He's been named in the Special Projects box along with ANC MP Vincent Smith and former SAA Chair Dudu Myeni. Joining me in studio is SABC senior political reporter Mzwandile Mbeje. Thanks so much for your time tonight, Mzwandile. Lots of names flying around at the inquiry today.
Well, lots and lots of names, and interestingly, they are categorized as the special projects. So basically what he was saying, the Richard Leroux, was that those people who needed upgrades and security fencing in their homes, who are either ministers or high-profile individuals, so had to be protected. I mean, interestingly, when they had to go and do all that work in their homes, so first, they did not need branding because no one should know that they were from Bosasa. And secondly, I mean, they needed to make sure that they don't mention to anyone that they were from Bosasa, which really raises a number of questions. I mean, if this was done in a legal, proper way, why would these people not be known? I mean, if you are doing the legal activity, so what is it that you're hiding?
Mm-hmm. We know that Zizi Kodwa, representing the ANC, has been quite vocal about the importance of the state capture inquiry and has been there quite often. What was his response to these names that were flying out of high-profile ANC people today?
Well, interestingly, Nzinga, remember the commission has several breaks. So before the first break, I think he was there. So the second break, when all these names were being dropped, and then we wanted a response from him, so he had gone. So obviously, I wouldn't say he was running away from what was happening, but ordinarily, if the ANC is mentioned, so we'd get a comment from him and really get the attitude of the party. So what is the party saying about this? But this time round, so he left. Perhaps he had prior arrangements, but we were not able to get a response from him because he left early. Mm.
And then do we know what the reaction of some of the implicated people are? Because obviously this evidence can be tested. People can rebut and say that, you know, there was an arrangement or they've declared it. And people have been saying it can be quite dangerous to name names and we take it as truth.
You know, one of the things I've been saying, Zinga, is that it will be very interesting for that commission if many of those people who are named there go to the commission and put their side of the story. Because right now, we're hearing from one side. And obviously, if it's not rebutted, I mean, so we will believe that. We'll believe them. But you can see that some of the things that are being said, you really want to hear the other side. I mean, when people, for example, say, then I did certain things to your house, and we want to know, was it paid for? I mean, the person who got that service, we want to know, was it paid for? When was it paid for? Because it seems like everything was done in a zigzag way, and then Bosasa always took the cost.
Let's take a listen into some of those things that have been happening at the state capture inquiry.
The 3 properties belong to Gwede Mantashe.
And how do you know that the property belonged to Mr. Gwede Mantashe?
Because it was said to me by Papale Shabani, one of the directors at African Global.
And what was Mr. Papale Shabani's involvement?
I'm not sure what his involvement is there. I was just instructed to go and do 3 residences of Mr. Gwede Mantashe.
And you were so instructed by Mr. Papale Shabani?
It was instruction from Papale Shabani, yes.
You've just stated that there were 3 properties.
That is correct, Chair.
Can you recall the areas?
The one area was in Boksburg in 29.1. 29.2 was in Elliot, Eastern Cape. It was a farm. And 29.3, it was Kala in the Eastern Cape.
And can you recall if the specific project was given any special name, as has been with the previous project?
It was only called Mantashe, that's it. This residence is in Krugersdorp, and it is in Noordheuvel, and I just used the name Bloberg. I don't want to obviously say why I used the name Bloberg, but that was the name that came up, Bloberg.
Is it because you think it might reveal?
Yes, Chair.
For security reasons?
That's it, Chair.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
That's fine. And in respect of whose property was this project undertaken?
This property belonged to Nomvulo Mokonyane.
And when was this project undertaken?
I was contacted in 2013 by Gavin Watson. He instructed me to meet him and Angelo Grizzi at the premises of Nomvulo Mokonyane.
What else can we expect from the state capture inquiry going forward?
Well, tomorrow I think we're also having one more witness from Bosasa group. So we basically expect him or her to corroborate by and large the evidence of Mr. Agrizzi. Because, I mean, if you listen to all these people, most of the things they are saying are basically corroborating what he has been saying. That's why I'm saying it will be very important to hear the other version.
Mzwandile Mbeje, our senior political reporter, thanks so much for giving us insight into what happened at the state capture inquiry today. It's time for a short break. We'll have more news for you. Stay with us on the 4 View.